my current address was not there, because he would have came to my current house and he would have known where I lived. Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, my name is Diana. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Today we're literally going to be talking about the time that I had a stalker. And I've honestly had multiple stalkers, but this one guy really did the most. So get ready with me while I talk about my weird stalker situation. So today I want to go for like a very simple makeup look, because I've been doing makeup every single day and I feel like I need to give my skin a little breather. But we're gonna just jump right into this video. This happened to me about 2 years ago, and I never really thought about how serious this situation was until I really started like looking back, and I'm like, oh my god, like this guy was a full-on stalker, and I could have gone to the cops and reported him. But at the time I just thought like he was just a guy and he was like being weird. As we all know, guys are weird, so I didn't really think about it that much. But the more I think about it, the more I'm just like, okay, I probably should have gone to the cops. So this happened about 2 years ago at my local post center office. So I am Dominican, and if you're somebody that has parents that like live in a different country, or like maybe like in the Caribbean, you know that we like to use a lot like Western Union. And my dad lives in Dominican Republic, and he will send me and my siblings money through Western Union. I would always pick up the money at my local post office, and you know, I never had any issues. I've been going there for years. I knew the guys that work there, the owner. He's like super nice, and I never had any issues. One day he hired this new employee, and he's like an older Indian guy, and he's definitely like in his like, I want to say late 40s, early 50s. And you know, old men like to hit at young girls. That's not something that's uncommon for me. Like that happens a lot. So I never really thought anything about it. So in this one occasion, typically the owner is the one that always kind of take care of me, because I've been knowing him for a while, and we just talk about life and just, you know, hey, how are you, and all that regular stuff. The owner happened to be busy this time, and the new guy was the one that took care of me. He first starts off, you know, like if you ever picked up money on, like in a Western Union, you know, they have to give them your ID, you have to give them your phone number, your house address. It's like a lot of personal information you have to give them. And you know, the guy is collecting the personal information. Of course, I'm not thinking anything of it, because that's what you're supposed to do to pick up money. So whatever, the first time around, you know, he picked up the money and he was flirting with me a little bit. And obviously I get very annoyed when like guys try to flirt with me. I'm just kind of rude, because it's just like, no, like don't do that. So I was just like whatever, like ignoring him. That was the first instance. So time passes by, and I want to say like a few weeks pass by, and I have to go to Western Union again to pick up money, or I don't remember what I was doing. So I had to go to Western Union again to pick up money, because my dad was sending us money regularly. Let's put his name, let's just give him a name. We're gonna call him Bob. So Bob had to take care of me again, and I'm not thinking anything of it, but I'm kind of just annoyed, because I'm just like, oh my god, now I'm gonna have to deal with this guy. Like, I'm really not in the mood, but whatever, I'm doing what I have to do. He takes my personal information again, because that's just routine, and I go about my day. After I leave the postal center, I get a call like 2 minutes later, and it's from a number that I don't have saved in my phone. And I'm typically the type of person that I never pick up phone numbers if I don't know, because it's just like, I don't know who this is, so it's not important for me to pick it up. But something told me to pick up the phone call this time, because it was just weird. Like I literally walked out the postal center, I got in my car, and instantly I got a phone call. So I'm like, okay, that's weird. I instantly thought like it's probably them giving me a call, like they need more information, or I forgot something in there. Of course, I was right. Bob had taken my phone number that I had to give him to be able to collect the money, and he was calling me. So pick up the phone call and it's him, and he's like, hey, this is the guy from the postal center. And I'm like, okay, is there a problem? Like, did I forget my ID? Like, I'm thinking like I forgot my ID. I'm thinking that something is going on. And he was like, no, I just took your phone number and I wanted to see if we could be friends. I'm like, no, we can't be friends. Like, first of all, you're not supposed to be calling me. You're not supposed to take my phone number to call me and talk to me about if we could be friends. Like, I give you my phone number and my personal information because I have to, so I could get my money, but not for you to take my phone number and call me. He was like, yeah, can we be friends? And I'm like, no, like, I no, we can't be friends. Like, I have a boyfriend, I don't want to be friends, whatever. So I hang up the phone call and I'm just like, okay, like, he's really doing the most. I didn't think anything of it. So that instant happened, and instantly after I hanged up the phone call, I just blocked him. Like, I didn't think anything of it and I blocked him, and I was just kind of annoyed because at this point I kept having to kind of reject him when I went to pick up the money. But again, I didn't think anything of it. I'm just like, he's just being a weirdo, a creep, and whatever. But I was definitely annoyed at this point. A few weeks pass and here I go and I have to go to Western Union again. This time around I avoided him because obviously, like, that's very weird and uncomfortable, so I'm avoiding him. And you know, the owner takes care of me and he's kind of just staring at me from the side, and I'm just like, I'm just trying to be in and out. Like, at this point I'm getting uncomfortable and I don't even want to pick up money here because this guy is just doing too much. Like, I've had guys flirt with me and I've had guys do weird things, but he's like doing too much. And you know, when I would go in there, he would just be staring at me. And mind you, this is like an older man. Like, this man is like his late 40s, 50s, who knows, 60s. I have no idea. And at this point, you're doing too much. You're making me uncomfortable. Just notices that I'm avoiding having to get seen by him, and whatever, I leave. Between all these time frames, like, whenever I'm like going back and forth in like having to go collect money, like, months is going by. So the incidents with the phone happened, and then like a month went by, and then I had to go again and I got seen with somebody else. So then 2 months go by and I go again. This time the owner wasn't there. The guy that the man that I'm like cool with, he wasn't there, so I had to get seen with him. Again, I give him all my personal information, I give him my phone number, I give him my ID, I give him everything, because you have to do this to be able to collect the money. So I give him all my personal information and I leave and I go about my day, and you know, I'm not thinking anything of it. Weeks pass by and I have to go back to Western Union. And you know, that last time that I had the encounter with him, he kind of realized that I just wasn't in the mood to deal with him anymore and I was getting frustrated. So he kind of like did minimal talk, but he was like looking at me and stuff like that. So the last time that I went to Western Union, and this was the last time that I decided to go, because at this point I really started to get concerned for like my own safety, because every time that I was giving this guy my phone number and I was giving him my license, my personal information was there, but I didn't really think about anything like that until the last time that I went into the Western Union. So the last time that I go in there, he takes care of me again. And he was like, oh, like, I haven't seen you in here in a while, like, how have you been? I'm just like, oh, I'm good, like, I just, you know, I haven't came. And I'm giving him very like straight up answers, quick. And when he takes my ID, he was like, hey, like, did you move? And I was just like, why? I was like, yeah, that address, I don't live in that address. He was like, oh, because I went looking for you and your neighbors said that you didn't live there. And I'm like, what do you mean, like, you went looking for me? So it just so happened to be that the address that was on my license at the time, my ID, was not an updated address, because I had moved already, but I didn't update it on my license. Tell me why this man literally took the address from my ID that I'm supposed to give him so I can collect my money, and he went to my house. the previous house that I had on there. And at this point, I'm really trying to keep it calm, but I'm just like, this guy is really fucking crazy. Like, he's collecting my information, he's collecting my phone number, he's giving me a call, he's going to my address, and at this point, I'm just like, I'm never coming back here again. Like, I was so grateful that my current address was not there, because he would have came to my current house and he would have known where I lived. And that is definitely not okay. So when he told me that, I was like, yeah, no, I don't live there anymore. I haven't lived there in a long time. And we kind of just left it at that. But he realized that I was really, really mad. Like, I was starting to get very annoyed with this guy, because he had just been doing way too much. And he was very inappropriate. Like, you're not supposed to take any of my address or anything like that to go to my house. On top of that, he knew that I had a boyfriend, and he literally did not care. Like, he did not care that I had a boyfriend. He had asked me, he was like, oh, are you married? I was like, no, I'm not married, but I have a boyfriend. Like, he did not care. He was still going out of his way to get my phone. Whenever I would be coming into the store, he would look at me weird ways to make me feel uncomfortable, like looking at me up and down. And honestly, I really was thinking about it. I'm like, I should have said something to the owner, and I should have probably gone to the cops at one point. Just started thinking to myself, like, you know, I was kind of concerned, because I was like, this guy is doing a little bit too much. And, you know, in my household, it's a household full of girls, and you just never know these guys' intentions. Like, he really was doing the most. And after that day, I decided that I was never gonna go back there, and I rather drive farther out to pick up money or do anything at any postal center than keep going there and put myself in that uncomfortable position. He was not taking no for an answer. Like, even when I was rejecting him and, you know, I was making it known that he was making me uncomfortable, he was not taking no for an answer. He was still basically harassing me. And honestly, if I wanted to, I could have literally sued them, and I could have sued Western Union, because that information that I give them is something that is mandatory, and one of their employees is using that information to stalk me and to make me uncomfortable, and that is not okay. So more of the stories, ladies, don't be like me. And if something happens to you the first time around, just listen to your gut. And what I should have done is that I should have listened to my gut, and I should have gone somewhere else, or I should have just kind of avoided the situation. Because if that man really would have had my current address, who knows what could have happened. Because I've had in other instances guys that I've rejected that have gotten violent with me because I've rejected them. If you guys want to hear story time on that, I could let you know. Like, I'll tell you guys what happened. But more of the story, be smart. Don't be like me. I was a little bit way too lenient with that situation, and thankfully they just stayed at that because I stopped going and he didn't know where I lived or anything like that. But if he did know where I lived, I don't even know what could have gone down, to be honest. I don't even want to think about it. But that is the story time. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys want to hear more crazy stories that had happened to me, then let me know in the link below. If something similar has happened to you, let me know in the link below. And I love you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.